The screaming across the fields. The Irish Banshee, Part 2. I tried convincing myself it wasn't real. That's the truth. After the first night at the farmhouse, I spent days building logic explanations in my head. Stress from the funeral, lack of sleep, storms playing tricks with the light and sound. Anything except the obvious. But the obvious answer was always impossible. And yet, I couldn't explain the dogs, or the scratching on the kitchen door, or the woman's face staring through the glass. Worst of all, I couldn't stop thinking about the old man in the shop and what he had said. The Banshee doesn't come for the dead. She comes for the next person who's going to die. I should have left the farmhouse that day. Instead, I stayed another night. That decision nearly killed me. The weather turned worse after sunset. Heavy fog rolled across the fields until the entire countryside disappeared into a grey wall beyond the windows. Even the dogs acted wrong all evening. They refused to leave the kitchen, refused to go near the back door of the house. Every so often, both would suddenly stare toward the hallway at exactly the same time, watching something I couldn't see. Around 11 p.m, my cousin Sean arrived, unexpectedly. He'd heard I was staying there alone and decided to spend the night. To this day, I think that's the only reason I survived. At first, having another person there made everything feel ridiculous again. We drank tea, watched football highlights, laughed at old family stories. I almost told him what I'd seen the night before. Almost. But every time I started, something stopped me. Like saying it out loud would make it real. Around midnight, Sean noticed the dogs. Both were sitting frozen beside the kitchen table, ears flat, whining softly. Then he said, "Why do they keep looking outside?" I hadn't realised that they were, but they were both staring directly toward the back fields behind the farmhouse, completely still, like they were listening. Then we heard it. A woman screaming somewhere across the fields. Not crying this time, screaming. The sound hit the farmhouse like a knife. Raw grief, pure agony. It echoed through the fog, so loudly the windows vibrated slightly. Sean stood up immediately. What the hell was that? I didn't answer, because deep down, I already knew. The scream came again, closer this time, and mixed into it was something worse. A laughing. Not a normal laughter. This sounded broken. It was wrong. Like several voices laughing together slightly out of sync. Sean grabbed a flashlight from the corridor. There was someone outside. I told him not to go outside. Instantly, too quickly. He looked at me strangely. Why? I couldn't explain it without sounding insane, so I lied. Saw lights out there earlier, I said. Probably just travellers. But even as I said it, I knew he didn't believe me. Then the screaming stopped abruptly. Complete silence filled the farmhouse. Then came 3 loud knocks at the back door. Thud, thud, thud. The dogs exploded into barking. Sean stepped forward toward the door immediately, and I swear my heart nearly stopped. I grabbed his arm so hard he cursed at me. "Don't open it," I said. He stared at me, confused now, actually unsettled. Then a woman's voice drifted softly through the window. and from the wood outside, it said, "Please." Weak and crying, "I need help." Sean looked back at the door, then at me. She could be hurt, but something about the voice felt wrong. Not fake exactly, more like practiced, like someone imitating what sadness sounds like without understanding it fully. Then the voice outside said something that made the blood drain from my face. It whispered my uncle's name. Sean heard it too. His expression changed instantly, because there was no way anyone outside should have known who lived there. The knocking started again. Faster now. Thud, 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 thud. The entire door shook. And outside, the woman began sobbing violently. Then came the scratching. Long nails dragging slowly down the wood. Sean backed away from the door, finally afraid. "Who the hell is that?" he said. I whispered the answer before I could stop myself. "The Banshee." The lights in the farmhouse went out immediately. Darkness swallowed the room. The dog started screaming again from somewhere behind us. And outside, the crying transformed into something inhumane. The best way I can describe it is, imagine hearing grief and rage at the same time. A sound so full of hatred and sadness, it barely sounded human anymore. Then, footsteps behind, circling the farmhouse outside, slow, crunching through wet gravel. One full circle around the house, then another, always stopping briefly behind whatever window he stood at. Like he knew exactly where we were. Sean grabbed my arm hard enough to hurt. There's someone at the window. Lightning flashed across the fields, and for 1 second, we saw her clearly, standing outside the sitting room glass, smiling, black tears running down her face. But this time she wasn't alone. There were shapes standing behind her in the fog. Tall figures, motionless, at least 6 of them watching the house. The lightning vanished, darkness again. Then came a sound from upstairs. A door slowly creaked open. All of us froze, because we were all alone downstairs, or at least we should have been. Then footsteps moved across the bedroom above us, heavy but dragging, followed by a woman softly crying inside the farmhouse. And from outside the window, the Banshee smiled wider before whispering, "He knows you can hear us now."